What's good? It's Boruto Reviews, and I'm gonna do a different video for a time being. I normally don't do prediction videos on this channel, but because of this recent chapter of Boruto, and obviously like the previous chapter, it has definitely spurred my interest in this series. And yeah, this series is starting to go in a direction that I'm starting to like. So yeah, let's talk about it. And heavy spoilers for chapter 43. We'll do my predictions for the next chapter, but let's give a little brief review. And it's basically after the events of the first chapter. Naruto is basically taken to the hospital. The gang are all relieved that he's okay. Boruto reassuring Karaki that Naruto's okay, and Shikamaru warning Naruto to not let his guard down because the Kara group can attack anytime. And then we cut to the Kara's kind of like home base, it looks like. And looks like Amado's about to head off somewhere, and Kashin Koji summons a Tojitsu, which goes straight into my chapter 145 predictions. I'll talk about that later on. And then we have Delta basically wondering where these two are doing without Jinga's permission. And then that's where Amado puts her to sleep all of a sudden, which is being confirmed by Kashin. It's a system code shutdown, and it looks like he's been programmed by it as well. That's what he said. And then Amado starts to head off, and Kashin does the reverse summon jutsu, which Amado heads to the Hidden Leaf Village all of a sudden. Sarada, meanwhile, basically explains to Sasuke about Boruto and his new appearance, saying that he had a horn and he also had the Byakugan in his other eye. He and Mitsuki then basically discuss Boruto's situation. What's happening isn't normal at all. And then Sasuke basically comes up with the theory that Momoshiki's will exists inside Boruto's karma and he's able to take over his body. And then Mitsuki also feels that maybe Karaki has the same as well. And yeah, Sasuke is thinking that maybe Jingen is the one who's going to possess Karaki. However, he feels that Jingen himself was a vessel for another being. And then it cuts to the new Ino-Shiko Choji team basically training and practicing, and that's when Amado basically interrupts them. Shikamaru instantly is like, I don't trust this dude. And then he basically he puts this kind of restraint bomb over him. Ino's son basically contacts Ino, and then they're able to contact Shikamaru about the situation because Amado has no idea that Naruto has been safe, and he's not been captured by Kara. Shikamaru then informs Naruto and the gang about the situation, and then Amado is quite surprised to find out that Boro was defeated so easily and that Naruto is safe. So now he's even more eager to talk to Naruto, and then that's when Amado comes up with the proposition that he wants to defect to the Hidden Leaf Village, and in return he will offer intel to him on Kara, Jingen, the Ten Tails, and the Otsutsuki, and he will share everything he knows. And that's pretty much where the chapter ends. Review of it. I have to admit the art style for Boruto has greatly improved. I've noticed this with like characters like Shikamaru, Naruto, and Sasuke, because their early designs used to look a bit weird and funky looking, but I must admit these designs look so much better, and it's much more like Kishimoto's art style, and it's starting to look more like that old style Naruto look, which I'm really liking. And that's what really got me into it. And it's really interesting because Shikamaru's son has been captured, and this dude isn't playing, like all he has to do is say the word bomb and a bomb will explode and just kill Shikamaru's son immediately. So I feel like Naruto and the gang will have no choice but to let this guy in. So let's get to my predictions for next chapter. I can see Naruto and Shikamaru basically allowing him to stay in the village on the condition that Shikamaru's son is safe, and maybe Naruto will trick him into thinking that he can be part of the village, but Naruto will have like some sort of security restraint on him or something like that, so they can get intel on him and understand what the situation is going on. And But the one thing that I found interesting in this entire chapter was Kashin Kojin's like submarine jutsu. I don't know if he's done this before. He probably has, but Kashin Kojin summons a toad, and it's not just any toad, it's a gigantic flipping toad. He could have summoned any beast, but it so happened to be a toad. And like, it's just really hitting the nail that this dude might end up being Jiraiya sensei, Pervy Sage, if you remember that dude, Naruto's mentor and all that lot. I know it's been a while. Yeah, he died in the pain arc, but people have been coming up with theories that it could be him. And at first I was like, this is impossible, this couldn't be him. But after this chapter, it's kind of made me think that, is it actually him, but not him at the same time? I mean, the way he's able to do the steam toad, I feel like Jiraiya did a similar jutsu back in the day. And like, it really could be him. But remember what? When Mitsuki and Sasuke were discussing the Boruto situation and saying that Momoshiki's will is inside Boruto, so he's able to take control of Boruto. And if you remember Boruto in the previous chapter, how he wasn't himself, and yeah, he had the body of Boruto, but the attitude and the personality was not Boruto at all. It was definitely that of Momoshiki's. And I feel that when Sasuke said that, when he thinks Kawaki might be Jingen's vessel, he feels that Jingen himself was a vessel for another being. It kind of made me think that it's Jiraiya being possessed by one of the Otsutskis. Like, that would make sense. Like, wouldn't they need like a really powerful ninja? And Jiraiya, if you remember when he died, he fell into the river. Like, his body was never found. So I don't know, maybe the Otsutsuki found his body, you know, basically revived it a little bit and did some jutsu spells on it, and maybe they put the karma on him so that they're able to control him and use his body and his power and his jutsu. If that's the case, then that would be really interesting. There's a lot of plot holes leading into that. That would mean the Otsutsuki guys have been on Earth for some time, and it doesn't really add up, but that's kind of my little theory on that. Jiraiya possibly being Kashin Koji is literally really interesting, because a few weeks ago we had that 20th anniversary special, like mini arc, where Boruto goes back in time with Sasuke and he kind of meets Jiraiya. And I don't know if the manga has ever addressed that Boruto knows who Jiraiya is. Naruto probably mentioned him, but it kind of makes that entire arc a bit more meaningful, because Boruto getting to know Jiraiya, and if Kashin Koji is Jiraiya, it would be a bit of a shock to him. And I think maybe that's why they introduced Jiraiya in that arc. You know, they focused it, you know, at that point in time, because they could have gone back any time, but it so happened to go in a point where Jiraiya was still alive, which was interesting. So it being Jiraiya is another interesting theory. Sasuke and Jiraiya also have a sort of one-on-one, and I like how Jiraiya kind of knew that that old man, because in the little arc, Boruto and Sasuke are kind of like in disguise, but it looks like Pervy Sage knows that that man is Sasuke, that Sasuke is Sasuke, and he has a theory that Boruto is the son of Naruto, but he's not saying anything. I'm just thinking, did Jiraiya always know about this? And if so, does it have an effect on who he is, you know, like what's happened now? Like, maybe the Otsutsuki clan knew that Jiraiya saw the past in a way, and maybe not only because he's just strong and powerful, but he has detail and of like all that stuff, which possibly could lead to like a Boruto versus Kashin Koji fight with probably Sasuke as well. That would be interesting. I'd like to see that happen. And I'm really fascinated, will Shikamaru die in the next chapter? Will Boruto and the gang let this Naruto and the gang let this dude in, and what's going to happen? And what I really like about Boruto is that I like how the OG cast are given more of a lead role in a way. I feel like the writing always gets interesting when the lead characters are always kind of present and active, which I really did like. And it becomes awesome seeing the old and new characters kind of like, merge and just like not merge into one, but kind of like team up together. I thought it was cool. But yeah, what's your take on it? Do you think Jingen is actually Jiraiya Sensei? If so, how do you think he survived? How do you think the Otsuki guys got him? Well, anyway, that's my reviews in a nutshell. But thank you for watching. And as always, a Boruto review signing out.